Hey guys, it's Steve. Welcome back to another Barbecue Bros video. So this week it's Thanksgiving. So I wanted to show you guys how I brine and slow smoke a turkey on the Grill Dome Kamado. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we have a 12-pound turkey and a gallon of water. And what I'm going to be doing is taking the Mad Hunky poultry brine that you've seen me use in one of my other videos on some chicken wings. This is a great penetrating brine, goes really well with poultry. And a lot of guys, depending on the size of the bird, like to brine turkeys in coolers, and they put the brine in there and just kind of cover it up with the liquid and put some ice bags in there to keep it cool. What I'm going to be doing is I'm using a 2-gallon ziplock bag. This is going to be large enough for this turkey. And I'm going to just take the brine and mix it up in the water first. I'll put the turkey in the Ziploc bag and then pour the brine over it. And then it's just going to sit in the fridge for about 15-16 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got some of the Mad Hunky here. I've just stirred it up a little bit. And I wanted to go ahead and just kind of show you the color of this brine, and you can see all the herbs and spices kind of floating around on the top, and there's a ton of aroma coming off of this brine. So if you haven't ever used this brine, definitely check it out. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is get the turkey in the Ziploc bag and get this poured over. Okay, so here's our turkey in the 2-gallon Ziploc bag with the brine poured on top of it, and we're just going to put this in the fridge. Oh, by the way, when you do this, you want to try to get as much air out of the Ziploc bag as possible, so you have a nice closed seal here. This is going to sit in the fridge overnight, and we'll pick back up tomorrow when we get the Grill Dome fired up and it's time to throw this bird on the Kamado. Alright, so I have the lump charcoal in the Kamado here. I just started the fire, so we're getting that going. What I wanted to show you guys here was the Barbecue Guru adapter that I added for this cooker. And basically, when you get one of these Grill Domes, it comes with this little piece of steel right here that just kind of slides back and forth and controls your bottom damper. Barbecue Guru basically just takes the little adapter here and puts it on their own little piece of steel. You basically just take this and slide it all the way over. So the only air getting in is going to be through the adapter. And then you just take your Barbecue Guru fan and slide it on just like that. And then this is obviously being controlled by the BBQ'ing. And I'm shooting for a 300-degree cook. And we're going to be cooking indirect. I'll show you guys real quick my indirect setup. So we've got the lump getting hot down here. We've got the Grill Dome indirect cooking rack. And then what I do is I just take a 10-inch aluminum pizza pan and cover it in foil. And that's what I'm going to be using for my indirect setup. And then we will take our grill rack and set it on top. Let me move the camera so you can see the... So right over here is where the pit probe for the Barbecue Guru is. So that's going to be controlling the temp of the cooker, and again we're shooting for 300 degrees. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is get a couple chunks of smoke wood on here. For this cook I'm going to be using 1 chunk of peach wood and 1 chunk of pecan wood. I've been buying my smoke wood from fruitawoodchunks.com recently, and this is hands down the freshest smoke wood I've ever used before. So definitely check those guys out. I have no affiliations with them whatsoever. The wood really is just that good. So going to be a nice combination here of pecan and peach. So we're just going to throw these on here and get this thing covered back up. Okay everyone, I just pulled the turkey out of the refrigerator. It has been sitting now for 16 hours. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and dump out the brine, take the turkey out, and we'll go ahead and get some rub on it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish getting our turkey ready here. So again, turkey brine for 16 hours and the Mad Hunky poultry brine, which has a lot of flavor already in it. It's got dry honey, dehydrated celery, it's got other spices, and it's a really great penetrating phosphate brine. So there's going to be a ton of flavor, a lot of just tenderness in this meat just with using the brine alone. There's also a lot of different ways to prepare a turkey. A lot of guys like to inject. You can do that if you want to try to add some more flavor profiles into the turkey. And with this brine though, there's already so much flavor in it, I'm not even going to mess with that. I've seen guys that, you know, rub turkeys down with butter, with just various spices. All I'm going to be doing is using probably my favorite rub ever, which is the Simply Marvelous Pecan Rub. So you guys have seen me cook with this a ton of times. It goes really, really well with poultry. So I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil, not too much because it's already got a lot of moisture on it from the brine, but just give the rub a little something to stick to. Okay, like this. Let me take these gloves off now. And we're just going to sprinkle some of this rub on top. So another thing that a lot of guys like to do is try to get some rub up underneath the skin. I've done that before on some chickens and it works pretty good. I'm not too concerned with that on this cook though. So we're just going to sprinkle this, give it a nice coat. Put some in my hand here and try to get it up over here on these legs. And we're just looking for a little bit of rub here on the outside. Don't really need to go too crazy with it. Alright, that's all we're going to do right there. So we're going to go ahead and let the grill dome get up to temp and stabilize out a little bit, and it'll be time to throw this bird on. Okay, we're at 300 degrees on the Kamado, and the smell of the pecan wood coming off of this cooker smells amazing. It's got a stronger profile on it than the peach wood. The peach wood is a much sweeter, milder wood, and it just goes really well with this pecan rub. So we're going to go ahead and open up the Kamado and get our bird on. Put it right here in the middle, just like this. And then we're just going to take our food probe and just put it right there. And go ahead and get the Kamado shut. And our target temp is 160, 165. Alright guys, the BBQ is telling me that the turkey is at 150 degrees. So this is the first time checking on it. So let's go ahead and open the lid here. That looks gorgeous. What I'm going to do is I've got my thermopin here. I'm going to take a couple different readings around the turkey. That is 148. That's 143. Check the leg. That's 157. Check down here. Go a little bit deeper in there, right down here. And that is showing 143. This has been right at about 2.5 hours. And go ahead and close this back up, and probably another 45 minutes to an hour, and this bird will be ready to take off. Alright, our turkey is at 160 degrees on the internal temp. I'm going to go ahead and pull it and double foil it and let it rest up for an hour to 2 hours. It'll rest up to at least 165 degrees. But this is what it looks like. So we've got a gorgeous color on it, nice crisp skin here. And yeah, so it ended up being about 4 hours and 15 minutes on the cook. And I ran 300 degrees the entire time. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this foiled, and we'll pick back in a little bit when it's eating time and we slice into this bird. Okay, so our turkey has rested for about an hour and a half. So we're going to go ahead and cut into this. I just want to show you how tender this came out. There you go. So great color, super moist and tender. I'll show you some of the leg down here. Man, this knife is just going straight through this meat, nice and tender. See some nice meat off that leg there. There's tons of juice in this meat. Brine did a really good job. Nice crispy skin, so the cooking it at 300 degrees worked out really well. So there you have it. We've got a 12-pound turkey brined with Mad Hunky, rubbed down with some Simply Marvelous rub, and came out super tender and juicy with a lot of flavor. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and dig into this, and hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving this week. Have fun cooking, and we'll see you again soon.